So here we are doing design the DFA to accept odd number of A's. So languages will be A, triple A, 5A, and so on, 7A and so on. So first we'll start with the start state Q0 because this is the arrow marks. So this is the start state here. 1A should be accepted for these machines. So I will put it 1A and this is your final state. Then again 2A should be not accepted, 3A should be accepted. So here if I will make the states, so main thing is that how much we have to do. 3 for again 5, 7, 9 and so on. So we will try to make it some loop here. I cannot put loop here. If I'll put it loop here, consider if I put it loop here, so it will accept 1 and 2A also, 3A also, 4A also. So which we don't want. We want odd number of A's. So we have to do odd number of A's. So we have to remove this and we have to loop it here. So when it will be 1A, it should be accepted, 2A should be not accepted, 3A again should be accepted, 4A should be not accepted, again 5A should be accepted, and so on it will be executed. So this is all the type 1, 2, 3 problems is based on the type 1. Now we'll see the type 2. Type 2. Design the DFSM to accept the language multiple of 3 S and summation is given A. Multiple of 3A. So language should be epsilon 0, 0 is also multiple for every numbers, then 3A, 5A, 6A and so on. So we'll start Q0. This Q0 should be not accepted. Q0 should be accepted because this is epsilon here. So Q0 should be final state. A should be not accepted. Q2 should be not accepted because again 3A should be accepted. I will make it here. Again 3A is accepting here. Again 4 is not, 5 is not, 6 is accepting. Similarly 7 not, 8 not, 9 again accepting. So this is the multiple of 3's. So this one you can keep as a trick. If similarly if you given like a accept a multiple of 5's, so you can write it here Q0. This should be the final state. A not. Again A another is not. A Q3 should be not accepted. Q4 should be not accepted because we have to 4A should be not accepted. Again 5 should be accepted. So this is the way you have to do it. Keep in mind this is the trick here. Trick you can keep in mind here. If given number of 5 state to draw it, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. The final state to make it to the starter state Q0, and Q0 should be the final state for the each state. Similarly if you given 4 state, S should be accept multiple of 4A's. So 1, 2, 3, 4 state to draw it, Q0, Q1, Q2 and Q3. This is starter state A, and the final you make it here. So this is the trick you keep in mind as a type 2. Next on the type 3, given design the DFA to accept the language W mod 3 is equal to 0. So mod means already know. W represented as a modulus is number of A's. Summation is given A here. So 0 mod 3 is 0, 1 mod 3 is 1, 2 mod 3 is 2, 3 mod 3 is 0. So this should be accepted, this should be accepted. 4 mod 3 is 1, it should be not accepted. 5 mod 3 is 2, this is reminder values all. 6 mod 3 is 0, this should be accepted. So this is also is coming like 0, 3 and 6 should be accepted. It's just like a multiple of 3 only. So you can write q naught, this should be accepted. A naught, a q2 should be also not accepted, and again q3 should be accepted. So why this type have kept in the separate as type 2? Because sometimes may be given w mod 3 is equal to, if you consider given 1. So this times this should be accepted, this should be accepted. So you can write it here, q naught is the start state. 1a should be accepted, 2a should be not accepted, again 3 should be not accepted, 4 again should be accepted because 4 mod 3 is 1. So this is the final state. So in this also you can keep in mind trick here. If given anything w mod 5 is equal to, consider given 2. So just to draw it 5 state 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. A, A, A and A. Keep in mind here. And this is A. This is just like Q naught, Q1, Q2, Q3 and Q4. Whatever the right hand side is there, this is 2. That one you write the final state. Like this Q2 should be the final state. Similarly here W mod 3. 3 state I have made and equal to 1 is given. So Q1 is the final state. Similarly we'll do some one more problems. If we given W mod 4 is greater than 2. So we'll make it 4 state 1, 2, 3, 4. A, and another A. This is Q naught, Q1, Q2 and Q3. Is greater than 2 is given. So greater than 2, whatever the state is there, that will make it final state. So this is the state. This is greater than 2 as a numbering. You can make it final state. We can check out this is accepting or not. 0 mod G3, 0 mod 4 sorry, is 0. This should be not accepted, is not accepted. 1 mod 4 is 1, it should be not accepted, not accepted. 2 mod 4 is 2, it should not accepted. So 1, 2, 2a is not accepted. 3 mod 4 is 3. This should be accepted because 3 is greater than 2. So 1, 2, 3 will be accepted. Similarly 7 mod 4 is 3. It should be accepted. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is accepted. Similarly, if we given consider same questions, if we given greater than equal to 2, so this should be Q2 should be also final state and Q3 also should be final state. If we given not equal to 2, so Q0 should be final state, Q1 should be final state, Q2 should be not the final state and Q3 should be the final state. So based on this numbering you can decide. This is the way, this is the trick you can keep in mind. Now another type is type 4. Design the DFA to accept the language containing even number of A's and odd number of B's. So this also you can keep in mind a trick. For the even number of A's and odd number of B's, you can make 4 circles. Horizontal, this one you write as A. This will be the A. This is the start state. vertical we write it B. Vertical we write it B. This is the state name. You can write Q0, Q1, Q2 and Q3. All the there are in this 4 type questions may becomes even number of A's, odd number of B's, even number of A, even number of B's, odd number of A, odd number of B's, and odd number of A's and even number of B's. This is 4 type of question may comes in this type. So here only the difference is for the your language, which one initially you are taking. In these questions we have even number of A's and odd number of B's. So even number of A means A may be epsilon also, because A even number is 0. So A is what epsilon and given, and means multiplications. B is odd, B. So epsilon and B is also as a B only. B should be accepted. Maybe 2A and 1B should be accepted, because even number of A's and odd number of B's. Maybe only B also accepted, like this. 3B also should be accepted. 5B also should be accepted. Maybe 4A's and 1B should be accepted, because this is also 4A, and 4A means even A and odd B's. So now for the start state, we choose which is the final state. So minimum is here B. So if we start with this one, we will go to this way. So this Q3 will be the final state. For this even number of A and odd number of B, you can check out whether this is accepting or not. 4A and 1B should be accepted. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1B. This should is accepting. Similarly, if given for odd number of A and odd number of B's, same you can make the trick. 4 circle, 1, 2, 3, 4. Horizontal, just to write it A. Vertical, you write it B. And this is the starter state Q0, Q1, Q2 and Q3. Any numbering you can write it here. Now language you can write it here. Odd number of A means at least 1A should be live, and odd number of B is at least 1B should be live. Then maybe A and B also, odd number of A's and odd number of B's. Maybe B and A should be live. Maybe triple A's, yeah, 5 A's and 1 B should be live. So minimum is A, B. In the starter state, you check out where is A is B is going. A is here and B is this. So this should be the final state. Okay. So whenever all the four questions, only the final state will change. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. So if we're writing for the even number of A and even number of B, this will be the final state. If we're writing for the even number of A and odd number of B's, so this will be the even number of A and odd number of A, this will be the final state. If we're writing for the odd number of A's and odd number of B's, odd number of A and odd number of B, this will be the final state. And if odd number of A's and even number of B's, so this will be the final state. Only the final state will change in this all 4 type of problems. This is come under the type 4. Another type 5. Design the DFA to accept the language NAW mod 3 is equal to N of BW mod 2. W belongs to a given A and B star. So here both sides is mod is given. So this type to keep in mind as a type 4, and this is also having the trick to solve the problems. Here left hand side is 3, right hand side is 2. Left hand side how much